In Memphis, nothing comes easy, and that's exactly how we like it. This is a city built on hustle, on heart, on grit. And at Carway, our rides are built the same way. Tough, reliable, ready for the grind. No games, no gimmicks, just Memphis-style service. Real, honest, and built on trust. Where grit meets grind, you meet your next ride. Carway, grit, grind, and Pink Beetles. In Memphis, we know a thing or two about resilience. From the grindhouse to the Delta, we protect what's ours. But when pests invade your home, it's time to fight back. Grade A Pest knows how to handle what crawls, flies, and bites. With local experience and guaranteed results.
I'm Reggie with Grade A Pest Control. We service the Memphis metro area. That also includes DeSoto and Fayette County as well.
Grade A Pest has the entire Mid-South covered. So if bugs and pests put you to the test, let Grade A solve your problem.
And what is going on, Grizz Nation? This is the post-game bounce. I am Jared Davison, or as Drew Gann likes to call me, Blockhead Jr., and birthday man himself, Mr. Kenny Stubblefield, a.k.a. to Drew Gann, also my dad, Blockhead Stubblefield.
Exactly.
But yeah, Grizzlies lose 120-114 tonight in what was a really good game for what felt like three quarters, and then things happened. Well, we're about to talk about the things that happened. But Kenny, first off, how are you, my brother?
Man, I'm good, dude. I'm good. I'm a little disappointed about the game tonight, but it is what it is. It can't get me down. I'm turning the big 4-5 tomorrow.
Gigi Jackson here.
It's my Gigi Jackson birthday, so can't get me down. But I'm here, man, ready to hang out with you. But shout out to you for jumping in and taking care of this post game bounce tonight.
Black Ninja DJ. Let
me tell you something.
Hey,
listen. I can't listen. If I had a son like Jared Davidson, I'd be a happy man.
Hey, take that. He is old enough to be my actual father. So, anyways, let's get into it. The Grizzlies, they lost 120-114 in a game that was just kind of, it started out really good. Cedric Coward, before he got hurt, which we're about to talk about. That's the first point I want to hit. Looked really good in that first half. I believe he had, in that first half, Cedric Coward finished with 16 points, 9 rebounds, almost had a double-double, was a plus 13, was the driving force of this Grizzlies team in that first half, Kenny, and said, finally, Brevin said it, we were seeing the Philadelphia game out of Ced. I think we're starting to see more consistency in how aggressive Ced is being, and not only aggressive, but how efficient he is starting to become, especially at all three levels.
Well, and the efficiency numbers are pretty dope, especially because I feel like we're starting to see him become a little bit more assertive, right? Yep. Like we're starting to see Cedric start to say, you know what, man, this is my game.
Yep.
My team tonight. I'm taking this thing over. And in the first half, that's what he did.
He was 6 of 9 in the first half, 2 of 3 from 3.
Yeah, he is absolutely one of those guys that skill set wise and mentality wise, you look at him and you say, this is the guy that could be a cornerstone of this franchise for years and years and years. And I just, it's good to see it's good to see efficiency numbers not really go down more than anything. Actually, they go up as he started to become more assertive because he's just a very smart ball player. Like he gets his shots where he wants to get his shots, and he doesn't take bad shots really.
No.
now that he started to introduce kind of that 2-dribble, 3-dribble pull up mid range jump shot to his game, it's really adding a lot and giving him really the full bag in terms of scoring.
And it was a point of discussion when we played the Clippers twice in like 6 days earlier this year, where the whole Kawhi Leonard conversation was about him going to Kawhi and kind of mirroring Kawhi in pregame workouts. He's starting to look eerily similar to Kawhi with that 2 to 3 dribble mid-range pull-up. And like you said, it opens up more of the game because you see how it is Kawhi, especially with how Kawhi is playing right now. When that 2 to 3 dribble pull-up in the mid-range is working, not only does it open up behind the three-point line, it opens up the dribble drive for him as well. And like you said, he's getting to his spots with ease. But unfortunately, he did go down with an injury. It didn't just turn his ankle. It's one of those, kind of like we talked about with John Morant in the past with his ankle injury. He stepped on the foot of a Laker defender. I couldn't quite see who it was.
Yeah,
stepped on it, turned it, and he immediately went to the locker room. So I'm just hoping it's not insanely serious, but it's just another awful blow to a Grizzlies team that's already badly depleted.
Well, and I think that the part that frustrated me about it was that it felt like that when said went out, it just deflated the momentum, the crispness in which the Grizzlies were playing with. And that's what star players do. Star players, when they're out there, they open up so much because there's just a level of confidence, right? Like a level of confidence that you can play in or you can play with. And it really was, it felt like from that moment on, it was I liken it a lot to the way that the Oklahoma City game 3, when Ja went out with a few minutes left in the first half, it felt like you were just kind of holding on for dear life, right? The rest of the game. And unfortunately, the Lakers are one of the most clutch teams in the NBA in the fourth quarter. And
they're the best team in the clutch category, which the NBA as a stat classifies clutch games as a game that is within a 5-point margin within the last 5 minutes. So, and the Lakers are really good because they have guys who can just close and hit big shots.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So, I mean, shout out to Cedric, man. I love we can get frustrated about this game and we can get frustrated about what we saw out there and the fact that the Grizzlies are losing quite a few games now, but it's fourth straight loss, but it's just you look at it and you just go, you know what, man? Like, I love that we're seeing Cedric really assert himself in a really positive way. Yeah. And again, it just adds to the list of injuries that this team has. Yeah. I mean, you look at the damn bench during the game, and it's like, bro, those guys that are on the bench in street clothes,
playoff rotation.
It's a playoff rotation, bro. Like they had Scottie Pippen Jr., Ja Morant, Brandon Clark, Cedric Coward, and Ty Jerome sitting over there.
Yeah, and Zach Edey.
Well, I didn't even see. They didn't even show Zach.
I didn't see Zach tonight.
They didn't even show Zach on the bench. They showed those 5, and that's not even including Vince Williams and Zach Edey and everybody else who's out. Yeah. And it's just like another blow to this team that you're just like, damn, dude. Like I'm ready for this. I'm ready for some positive breaks to happen for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, and I will say I had a headline in here that's kind of talk about silver lining or what comes next. We'll kind of throw it in here real quick. Shout out to Jalen Wells. Jalen Wells stepped up big time in that fourth quarter. He finished with 23 points, shot 8 of 16 from the field, only 3 of 11 from 3. But he had the last 13 or 14 points for Memphis, scored 15 in the fourth, shot 5 of 8 from the field. He took control in that fourth quarter just to try to keep the Grizzlies within striking distance.
Well, listen, dude, shout out to Jake. I mean, shout out to Jalen. But the fact that Jalen had to do that.
Yep.
And you had, I'm not a pile on Jaren guy. And it's not like that Jaren didn't play bad. It's not that he played bad. It's that when you lose, like in closing time in the fourth quarter, when you are losing a lead and when you realize that it is time to get it going, this is winning time, to completely just fade into the shadows and get punked by DeAndre Ayton the entire fourth quarter is wild to me. And I just don't understand. I don't give a shit if you are playing with 5 fouls. Some of those he played with 4 for the majority of the fourth quarter. I don't care.
He finished with 4.
I don't care about that. Like I don't care about the fouls in the fourth quarter. I care about you saying I'm a 7'4" monster who cannot be guarded by these guys, and go into the and get it. Dude, he had 0 foul shots tonight.
0. He's not being physical. Like we've seen it time and time again. Last year, obviously, with when John went out in the Thunder game, we were up by 30, and several times this year, he's lost that assertiveness down low, and he's not being aggressive to the rack. We saw it for maybe a 4-game stretch where he would get the ball in the post and spin it down there and actually be aggressive. But you're seeing him go back to that cowardly play down low.
I'm not even talking necessarily about because I thought he did play pretty well throughout the rest of the game. I thought he was pretty assertive. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about in winning time. Yeah. When it is winning time and your main guy, when Ja is out, obviously for the entire game with a calf contusion, which is a bruise, right?
Yeah, it's a bruise.
So he had a calf contusion. Okay, cool. Yep. I have a bruise on my calf right now, but I am here at work as we speak right now talking to you. So Ja's already out. You lose Cedric. You ain't got nobody. Everybody else they need you to be assertive, and you let them feed off of you, and it becomes the Jalen Wells show, right? It becomes the Jalen Wells show, and I'm like, shout out to Jalen, but it did not need to be the Jalen Wells show. It needed to be the Jaren Jackson Jr. show.
I don't know if you have the stats in front of you right now. Do you want to guess what he had in the fourth?
All I have is the box score. I don't have the actual fourth quarter numbers.
He played 10 minutes in the fourth.
Right. Shout out.
2 points.
Yeah, come on, man.
No rebounds, no steals, no blocks. 3 fouls in the fourth, had a turnover, and shot 1 of 4.
Yeah, I mean, Smooth Southpaw said it, couldn't even out-jump Ayton for rebounds. I'm telling you, it was a level of disinterest, it felt like, in that fourth quarter, where it wasn't like I'm going to take this newly rejuvenated DeAndre Ayton. He took the weird-looking comb-over braids out of his hair and became a all-star #1 draft pick type player in this game. But there was 0 pushback from Jaren in that fourth quarter. No. Not even on rebounding. He was fouling Jake LaRavia. I mean, just dumb stuff.
When Jake was already falling out of bounds.
Yeah, come on, man. It's just frustrating.
DeAndre Ayton had 4 rebounds in that fourth and had 2 blocks. I'm pretty sure both on Jaren.
Yeah. No, he had one on.
He had one on
Cam.
Jaren.
He had Cam. He blocked Cam in the fourth quarter too. Yeah. It was just a frustrating game. That fourth quarter was so frustrating because it felt like the Grizzlies they played. Brevin said it perfectly in the commentary of the game. He talked about it is so frustrating to see Cedric Coward go out, but this Grizzlies team, it feels like there's just a next man up mentality, and they've had to do that the entire year, the past 3 seasons, really. Yeah. And the Grizzlies were, for the large portion of the game, outplaying the Lakers.
Yeah,
but it was in that moment when you needed your guy to step up. It just felt like there was just a total lack of interest on Jaren.
You needed your cash cow to show up, and he didn't show up.
Yeah, man, absolutely. That's annoying to me.
Yeah, it's insanely annoying. It just doesn't, and I don't even care the fact that he's getting double teamed either. It's just when Ced went out, they started throwing every double team they could at him, and you could see it coming. You've gotten enough doubles thrown at you. Learn how to spin one way out of the oncoming double team. Besides the point, I do want to talk about it before we go to the next point. Javon Small gave us some good point guard minutes tonight. I really was impressed with his play. Made winning plays tonight. Cam did not have the best night. Javon Small, 16 minutes, 7 points, had 3 boards, had 5 assists, had a steal as well. Played really well.
Yeah, it was really good to see Javon Small. It is awesome to see to have a point guard, a backup point guard, rookie who looks as physically talented, as developed as he does. He is a fantastic ball player. And Brevin talked about it perfectly in the game. He has played that position so long that he just knows the intricacies of how to get the ball to the right people at the right time, and which is such a massive part of being a point guard in the NBA or in really any league, is being able to get the guy, being able to get your guy the ball in the right time at the right moment, in the right spot. And so shout out to him, man. I really thought Javon played a great game. It was a rough game for Cam. Cam did not have a great game tonight.
No,
I mean, well, listen, we can sit here and look at it and go, okay, he had 5 points, 1 of 10 shooting, 0 for 5 from the 3-point line.
I'm looking at the number.
He still ended the game with 9 assists, 3 rebounds, and only 2 turnovers in the game. That obviously you want to see him shoot the ball better, but we got blamed. We got accused of only liking Cam because he's white. Me and you and Drew on the last show, on the last post-game bounce.
Okay.
I could give zero shits about any of that. I want to see wins and I want to see good ball playing. Yeah. And Cam, one of the things I like about Cam is, as a second-year guy who's not even supposed to be getting the minutes he's supposed to be getting, he is impacting the game in more than just one way. Right? Like, he's impacting the game. There's nights where he's shooting the ball extremely well. Then there's nights where he's dishing the ball, where he's facilitating, where he's getting the ball to the right guys. That is, like, if he had 5 points and 2 assists and maybe 3 or 4, we'd have a different discussion about the game and be like, yo, Cam, that's unacceptable. He still almost had double-digit assists in that game.
And my biggest knock on Cam, even during, like, the hot streak and playing well earlier this season, was the fact that he can't create for himself off the dribble. But I will say he makes up for that with his playmaking skills, because he hits guys in stride in the right spot. He doesn't use the screens just for himself. As soon as he recognized, we've seen the assist numbers for him go up since they've started scouting for him and going over top of screens.
Right.
I noticed a few times tonight where he had a screen set for him, and it was either Luka or who's their backup? It was Luka. It was either Luka or
was it Connect?
Jake. It may have been Connect at some points too.
Yeah.
Any of those three, when they would go over the screen, Cam immediately went to whoever was coming from the help side of that screen, and just Cam makes up for his lack of on-ball creation with being able to find those guys. And like you said, if he had 2 assists and 5 points, we're having a completely different conversation. He still found ways to impact winning basketball. To shoot 1 of 10 from the field and finish, apart from said, with the best plus minus on the floor,
right,
and from the starters at a 0, I will take it. So
yeah, I'll take it too. I was commented about this comment before we went live. GrizzGirl179, who is a fantastic ball knower, she said Wells only player that outscored Coward, and he went out in the first half.
Yeah,
that is I did not pick up on that when I first looked at the box score. I didn't pick up on that. That's a fantastic pull by Grizzgirl.
It is.
And shockingly, like, that's shocking to me. Like,
it is.
That's not okay.
No, it's not. It's not okay, but it's also, it's good because it's good and bad. And now the good part I will say is because you see what Ced can do in a half of basketball when he is on it. Right. And we've seen it a few times this year. I really think if he doesn't get hurt, he's dropping a career high tonight, just because of who all we had out and whatnot. But the bad side of that coin, Kenny, like she said, that Jalen was the only one to catch up to him and outscore him. And you had Jaren only score 13. That's not a number. 14. Santi didn't shoot well either. And those are probably the 2 next guys you would come up with. Those are probably 2 of the next guys that you would come up with thinking that should have outscored Ced when he went out.
Yeah, yeah. Scott Jenks brought up another one, said more rebounds in the first quarter than Tripp had in the entire game.
Yep.
Bro. Okay.
In this 2-game Lakers road trip, Jaren Jackson Jr. in 2 games and in 65-ish minutes of play, Kenny, 3 rebounds.
Bro.
3.
You are
3 rebounds and 10 fouls.
I mean, that is the Grizzgirl pool about Jalen Wells outscoring the only player to outscore Cedric Coward, who only played in the first half. And then Scott Jinks saying Sid has more rebounds in the first quarter than Tripp had in the entire game is I mean,
Shout
just
out to y'all for pulling
shout
those,
out to
man.
y'all for pulling that. And number two, that is egregious.
It is awful.
Egregious.
It is absolutely terrible, dude. You're in year.
And I'm not even the one that like I'm not even the guy that is like out on Jaren. There's a lot of comments, and I want to say shout out to all y'all. You guys are
Oh man, y'all are killing it tonight.
Smooth Southpaw is amazing. How did the by the way, how'd the butt off the egg go? How did that how was the
update
butt
us on
today?
that one.
Yeah, you got to update, send a pic. But I'm not even the person who's out on Jaren like that. But for me, like there's a lot of comments in here about him stealing money and the contract and whatever. But I will say, like, as much as I think Jaren can be a factor for this team in terms of a championship run, when he has games like these last two games, you just have to I cannot be intellectually dishonest with myself and try to pretend like that's not a thing.
Yeah.
And it's egregious how ineffective he was out here when you are the best player on the Grizzlies team at the moment. The guy with the bag that can be a takeover bag, right? Like you can absolutely take over a game to have 2 rebounds, you said 4 points in the fourth quarter? 2 points in the fourth quarter. And to have 0 foul shots the entire game is egregious. Egregious.
Oh, it's bad. Dude, I don't even know at this point what to do. Like,
did I just mute myself?
No, you're here. I hear you.
Okay. All right.
You're good. I'm sitting here thinking about it because I've seen a lot of discourse and shout out Chris Ingram. I'm to the point now where like I'm starting to transition into a lot more college basketball watching because football's almost over. And I'm an Arkansas fan. We just knocked off Tennessee, so I actually got to watch that game fully. So I'm starting to transition into watching like college basketball, and I'm seeing a lot more of these like dudes in this draft outside of like the main 3 names.
Yeah.
And shout out to Chris Ingram for constantly putting them on my Twitter timeline. It's getting to a point, and this is where I tie this back into Jaren. I don't think he's gone at the trade deadline because Zach Kleiman's not one to do things that big at trade deadline. But I do think another big move is coming this offseason. And as much as preseason me would have hurt to say this, and it's probably going to be Jaren.
Yeah, and Roman, shout out to Roman, who is an awesome beat writer for the BCM for the University of Memphis Tigers.
Fantastic.
Y'all follow him at ROA Clear on Twitter. He writes and has a podcast on beat with BCM. Fantastic. But he says the Grizz have been betting on Jaren to become a better rebounder for 8 years, and it hasn't happened. Probably won't happen at this point. I understand that. They want him to, like most Grizzlies fans are like, why can't he average double-digit rebounds? Well, that's just not how he plays.
Yeah.
He usually gets you about 6 to 7 average rebounds. He had 2 tonight. Like, and so when I'm talking about this, it's not that I want him to be just an overall a different player than what he is. I want him to like get 6 rebounds, not just 2, right? I want him to get like free throw shots, not just zero.
It's not even just that scope. It is the scope of wanting him to actually attempt to be assertive, and not just the first 43 minutes of the game, but like you mentioned earlier in this show, in winning time. It's not, for me, it's not necessarily just about rebounds. Yes, that's the glaring stat on the stat sheet.
Yes.
But it's about him being more assertive when you get to winning time, because that's a guy you are supposed to be relying on when it gets to, like Pete Pranica says all the time, in crunch time, which is classified as 5-point margin in the last 5 minutes. And whenever we get to a 5-point margin in the last 5 minutes, it feels like Jaren Jackson Jr. goes and tucks his tail and hides his head into his turtle shell.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
We're almost on 25 minutes here. Kenny, we're going to talk about another thing here because it was awful tonight. And shout out to Brevin Knight and Pete Pranica for the entire third quarter of calling
They
it
went
out.
off, and it was so deserved. They went
Yep.
off. The refs were terrible tonight. It
It's
is
terrible.
we're used to getting, like, when you're in LA and
You
you
know you're
have
gonna get the short end of the
LeBron
stick.
and you have Luca, you have the dumbass theater lighting they have in
You
that
have the
arena.
glamour of Lakers across your chest.
Yeah, the calls are gonna not go your way, but it was the third quarter especially was absolutely absurd.
Terrible.
Absolutely absurd.
It was terrible. Like,
What are the I mean, like, what I saw it with my own eyes, but they shot 41 free throws to 22 for the Grizzlies tonight.
Yep.
Um
33 free throws made to 20 free throws made on almost 20 less attempts.
I mean, there's your difference right
Yeah,
there.
there's your
If those
difference.
if the free throw line is even close to being, consistently
Yep.
like similar like it consistently is, then maybe they were talking about a different kind of game tonight.
Yep.
But there were times where, and it wasn't just even
It's not even just the free throw foul calls.
yeah, it was the making of a call and then changing the call because LeBron or Luca or JJ Redick complained, and then just changing it and having like zero opportunity to like challenge it, to figure out, like, it's just we just changed the call. We just did. This is what we do.
Yep. And yeah, I think you started this one. Usually I put this tweet out earlier. Usually on the broadcast, Brevin is the more outspoken of the two. He is the analyst in that broadcast partnership. So usually about those things, the analyst is more outspoken. Just in any sport you get. Holy cow! When you get Pete going off, you know it's bad. Like LeBron down low holding Jaren, literally tackling him, no call. And like you mentioned, you can sit there and tie your shoes and not have to use a timeout, get things changed. Dude, the shot clock violation call that got changed did not even touch the rim. Got redirected off the backboard. And LeBron's like, it touched rim. And then they wait a second, they talk about it, and they overturn it without any kind of review.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's Lakers ball.
Just unbelievable activity by the refs tonight. And Hunter G51, haven't seen you in here before, but shout out to you for being in here. He says, it's bad when Brevin said that the replay officials were just getting hush puppies, just a side, not a dish. That's funny. Brevin, it is one of the great joys of my life is that I get to sit at Brevin's house and film him every week. And the off-camera talks that we have, you start to see, like, there are moments where I can now hear Brevin and I'm like, oh, he wants to go off so bad, but he's professional, so he's not, but he wants to so bad. And you're a play-by-play guy, you're a commentator, so you understand what it feels like. But it was hilarious because I know exactly what he wanted to say, but he just didn't say it.
The amount of times that the amount of times I've had to bite my tongue on things I've wanted to say at calling college games and especially high school games, it is baffling how much restraint that you have to show when you have a headset on broadcasting a game.
Yeah.
And sometimes when it gets long enough, you can audibly hear Brevin do it. It's like he'll start a statement and he goes, and then
I'm gonna
take back over. Yeah.
I'm gonna relax. I'm not gonna say. DJ said it perfectly. For referees to be easily influenced because of who says something or the environment is purely ridiculous. And there is no way that you cannot tell me that the refs are not absolutely intimidated and influenced by LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and the LA night, whatever it is.
And that's any star. You know the video that circles around at least once or twice a year with Michael Jordan talking to the ref, and he goes, "It's like, I didn't see him do it, Michael, but I believe you, and I'll call it." And I'm like, it's crazy how big name and just the glamour of who's great in that time period, player and team wise, that just gets you the ability. It's like a perk unlocked where you can just say, "Hey, that hit rim. That hit rim.
Right.
Give us the ball back.
Give us the
And
ball
they
back.
did, and it led to 2 more points.
Oh no, so I think they hit a 3 in that
Yeah, no,
possession.
they did hit a 3.
They did hit a 3. It was a 3-point swing. There is. I just want to be. I want a complete moment of transparency to you. There is nothing that makes me more self-conscious than in the comment section of a live show to have somebody go pause.
I didn't even hear what you said,
and I don't know what I said.
I didn't hear anything that
like
warranted a pause.
Did I say Roman Cleary? What did I say that was pause worthy? Because
I didn't hear
it came right in the middle of me talking, and I literally was like, oh crap, what did I say? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I went out to film Brevin. That sorry, I point a camera at Brevin's face and he talks into the camera.
I mean, when you're in our line of work, that's not an egregious statement.
For the Night Court podcast.
when you're
shout out Smooth Southpaw.
I still don't have a picture. When you're in our line of work, that's not a crazy statement though.
Well, then I will never film Roman Cleary. All right, how about that?
You should have turned his camera off.
He said pleasure to film. It is fun. It's fun. It's
okay.
Fun
it's 20 minutes to midnight. Maybe we're all just tired at this point.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like I'm struggling here because like I wasn't gonna do the post game bounce with you tonight, but we have a bunch of bums at Bluff City Media who couldn't join you. I went out and celebrated my birthday tonight, and so I'm struggling a little bit. So.
Oh, Cam, I am Cam Young. We've gone off.
Brother, I apologize, Cam. I got nothing for you, man.
This is what happens when you live in God's time zone and the NBA gives us 8:30 and 9:30 tip-offs.
Cam's like, dude, what did I tune into? I wish I could listen.
Hey,
Cam, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, thank you all in the comments for being here. If y'all want more in-depth coverage of Memphis sports and crazy runoff sidebar conversations that will just run off the rails very quickly here at Bluff City Media. We got 3 weekly shows, 7:25 Monday through Friday, daily grind with Luke Hatmaker. You have the 2 Bucks at 11, and with Rusty, what's his last name? Witten? Yeah, Rusty Witten and Drew Gann. And then you have the Anthony Sane show at 1 p.m. with Anthony Sane and this man to my right, maybe y'all's left, Kenny Stubblefield. Those are our weekly shows. We have a host of other weekly shows that go on. Kenny, you have the whiteboard there. I'll let you run those off.
Yeah, man. On Monday nights we got No Bluffing Podcast. On Tuesday nights we got Tigers Untapped, and on Wednesdays we have On the Bluff, and Night Court comes out on Wednesdays. Thursdays, and On Beat with BCM comes out on Wednesdays as well. Thursdays, nothing. Fridays, nothing. Post game bounces throughout. Tigers Live. We do some watch parties. Black Ninja DJ was there. It was a good time. So Cam Young said, all right, fire up some triple trade, some trip trades. I'm going to bring something else up.
Okay, go ahead.
And I don't know how much I'm ready. I don't think I'm in the state of mind to be able to have a full in-depth conversation about this.
Yeah.
But is it time that we start to have a conversation about how when a certain point guard who has bruises on his calf sits out in a game, the offense for a large portion of the game looks insanely better?
I was going to save this for tomorrow for No Bluffing with Evan and I, if Chris isn't back yet. I was going to save this for tomorrow, but
I'm going to time out with you real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I am not saying that I think that the point guard that will lead the Grizzlies to a championship run is on this roster outside of Ja Morant. It's not Cam Spencer.
Yeah.
It's not Javon Small, but it is. Is it okay for us to start having a conversation that potentially Ja Morant ain't it?
Okay, so here's where I am. I am to the point of where I'm not saying it's time to get rid of Ja. And like you said, I don't think the point guard of the future is on the roster unless Javon Small becomes the second coming of undrafted Isaiah Thomas in the next year. A taller, buffer Isaiah Thomas. That's what I should say. But I do think that the days are over of Ja being number one option. That's where I'm at on a thought process. And I think that you find that in the next draft. Like, I think you find something in the next draft. I do agree. I can't remember who said it. We need more size. Yeah, it was Joseph Mitchell. I think we do need a little bit more size on this roster. And this next draft class has a few good, taller wings / bigs that can play both. They can do what Santi does, but they're bigger and physical in this draft. And I really think that we can find someone in this draft if we manage to get a decent draft pick.
Well, it looks like Phoenix is not going to go away.
No, they're not, because
they just beat OKC tonight.
Yeah, because freaking Dylan Brooks and Devin Booker. But I do think that the organization, with the emergence of Cedric Coward and Zach Edey, and if Edey can stay healthy, and even Jalen Wells off the bench, I do think if we can manage a decent draft pick, that we start going into the transitional phase of Ja Morant taking a true a true game managing point guard style of play, where he's a good 2-option scorer. But I'm not saying, I think as of right now, as where things stand, we still have over half a season to go. I think as of right now, I think we transition to Ja being a more number 2, and that's just where I think we're at right now.
This is actually a pretty fantastic point, Hunter. Just on the eye test, it feels like anytime Ja's on the court, he's having to almost handhold everyone to the spots he wants them at on offense. Is it a chemistry issue? Well, when you don't play, there's going to be chemistry issues, right? Like when you don't play, when you're in and out of the roster, when you're in and out of the lineup on a game-by-game basis, then yes, I think there are going to be chemistry issues. But here's the thing. Cam Spencer ran this offense tonight, and it looked
easy, 9 assists.
Awesome. 9 assists, right? Like guys were making shots in a flow. There's a flow state to the game that when Ja is out there are dynamic times when Ja is out there. But the biggest thing that I'm seeing, and the thing that concerns me the most, is that those dynamic moments that Ja Morant used to have, when he used to have them, they used to contribute to winning. He has them at moments now, but it's not necessarily contributing to winning. And that's a big issue. That's when you and here's the thing. You talked about him being in a game manager type role. Here's my thing. You can't pay a guy as much as you pay him to be a game manager. You can't pay him to be a third option, a second option. He has to be the number one option if you're going to pay him that. And so really, I think if we're having a real conversation about it, the question is if Ja's not that guy, if he's not the guy to lead to a championship run, then I think you start to have to like look at what can we get for him while he's at his peak, right? In terms of and I don't even know what his value is. I don't think he's at his peak value right now. But it's so tough, man, because yes, they lost this game. Yeah. But there's nobody that can sit here with the eye test, like Hunter G51 said, and look at this and go, man, for those first 3 quarters of this game, this Grizzlies offense looked extremely effective. Yeah. With a point guard who has limitations that will prohibit him from ever being a starting point guard in the NBA. Yeah. And so I guess my question is well, then do you start to look at maybe it's time to, as DJ said a few seconds ago, maybe it's time to, instead of not a reboot, but maybe looking at a retool here.
Yeah. And I'm still of this camp. I will be of this camp. I do think you move off of one of 2 of your big contracts, being Ja or Jaren, but I do think that it's Jaren before Ja. And I think that Kleiman, however long he's still here, who knows, because Perry's probably not going to make that move. Kleiman's proven he has a good track record with drafting, simply because in a small market, we've had this conversation, drafting is the way you have to go, and you get veterans that are on the way out. That's just how it goes. But I think they are determined to try and structure this thing around Ja as long as they can. And I think if they have to move off of Jaren to do it, to try to build and optimize their best roster they can, I think that's how they do it. But I think before you do anything off of Ja, you move Jaren first and try to take that step.
Yeah, and I think DJ said it. We've never been healthy enough to know what works. And
True.
T11 says this is my thing. The team doesn't consistently hit shots, so can we blame him? When they hit shots, he has double-digit assists. You have the numbers in front of you, the breakdown of the quarters.
Yep.
Walk me through the field goal percentages of the team in the first. Let's go first half of this game.
Okay. First quarter tonight, the Grizzlies shot 14 of 32. It's little under half.
A little under
40%.
Like 40, 44,
Yeah.
45%.
Yeah, 44%. They were 52% true shooting. I don't care about true shooting. They shot in the second quarter 11 of 21, so a tick over 50%, about 51. And they were 1 of 8 from 3. And then, so that's about, we'll guesstimate at 48% in the first half.
Okay. I don't have the numbers in front of me when Ja's out there in terms of what they look like field goal percentage wise, but this team does hit shots when they get the ball, and you've got a bunch of guys who
you want me to pull up Saturdays.
Yeah, those are pull up Saturdays. When you have this team is full of guys who need to work inside the flow of an offense to be able to hit shots in a way that impacts winning. And they were doing that in the first half of this game.
I have last game pulled up, but before we go to that, yes, when they hit shots, he has double-digit assist. He had 11 assists on Saturday, and he was a minus 21.
Yeah.
And the bench was plus in almost everybody. So
yeah.
All right. Do you want the whole game or what?
Yeah. Yeah. Give me the whole game.
Okay. First quarter, they shot 50% on the Lakers of Saturday's game. Second quarter, they shot 11 of 25, so about 45%. Third quarter, shot 13 of 26, exactly 50%. Fourth quarter, 10 of 21. They shot 48%. So they for the game, they shot let me go back to the summary. For the game, they shot 47%, 48%.
Yeah. All right. So they shot better. I mean, so maybe my point is not right here. It just in terms of the eye test, it looks different to me. Yeah. But and DJ's probably right. I'm not even trying to make a big like proclamation here outside of just there's something to keep an eye on, I think, for me to go, okay, like availability. Yeah. Go ahead.
Because whether no matter who it is on either side of the spectrum here, whether you want to admit it or not, these next two off seasons, this one after this season and the one after next season, are probably going to be two of the most pivotal off seasons in Grizzlies franchise history.
Yeah.
And whether you can successfully transition from, the Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson years, getting you to the playoffs, but only winning one playoff series, and then actually taking the next step to being a competitor in not only in the West, but possibly for the Larry O'Brien Trophy with Cedric Howard and Zach Edey and some other long-term players.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. Well, listen, frustrating game tonight. Obviously, wanted to see the Grizzlies pull one out in LA.
Yeah.
But 0-2 in these 2-game stretch with the Los Angeles Lakers. It sucks that Jake LaRavia played so well. He is a great ball player, and I think it was super easy to like blame him for a lot of the stuff that went down last year.
Yep.
But I will say, and I said this, I think maybe during the game watch that we did a couple of days ago, you don't trade a guy like Jake LaRavia because he's terrible, because then who's going to want him? You trade him because he has value. He's a valuable player. He's a good player. Would it be nice to have Jake LaRavia on this team? Probably so. Yeah, but you had to do something, right? In Zach Kleiman's eyes, you had to do something to be able to re-sign Jaren Jackson Jr. And we can have a discussion if that was a bad decision or not.
And
but
for the work that he had done, it was probably the right decision. But because you never know, you don't have a crystal ball that sits with you to know what's going to happen after that. So
yeah. It is what it is. Nathan says, shout out to Javon Small and Gigi Jackson. Absolutely. Yep. Javon Small, we talked about him earlier on in the show. Shout out to him. Had a great game. Really good to see him out there. Gigi played a great game. He was the only guy outside of Santi that was not a negative in the plus minus. There were only 2 players that were positive plus minus tonight. Cedric Howard, who only played for the first half, and Gigi Jackson, and Santi Aldama, who was a plus 3. Gigi was a net 0, basically.
Same with Cam.
Yeah. So, but Gigi played well. I thought Gigi did some things tonight, and I think you're starting to see kind of what his role for this team could look like.
Yeah, and also too, one guy we haven't even mentioned tonight that I thought played pretty solid, Jock Landale.
Man,
yes, he got thrust back into the starting spot tonight, and 29 minutes, had 13 points, 10 rebounds, 6 of those 10 rebounds being offensive boards. I loved what we got from Jock tonight. Yep. Had 3 assists, shot 5 of 9, hit a 3, 2 for 2 on free throws. I thought Jock played pretty well tonight. So
yeah, obviously took over for Christian Coloco in the starting lineup. It just goes to show you, man, like when you're this depleted, you either have to choose between Jock Landale and Christian Coloco. And I think Jock has been so good for this team. I think he's been so good when he's in the right role. He's not a starter in this league, but was serviceable tonight. Did a good job.
Early in the season, he was having to adjust to playing 25, 30 minutes a game because Zach Edey was out. And now, and we talked about this over the past couple of weeks, now that he's used to it, he's being a little bit more effective. And, he's kind of been a league journeyman and whatnot, but I will give Jock his props whenever he did. I think now that he's seasoned into the right spot, sure, he played really well tonight. So,
yep, absolutely. Absolutely. And DJ said it right. We almost beat the Lakers with half our roster. Have to sit back and think about it. I agree.
I would expect a couple I would expect at least one PR tweet this week about an injury update. Not from said. Not from said. We'll definitely get one from said probably.
But here's what I would say.
Already on our bench.
This is a game that was easily winnable. They should have won this game.
100%.
And so the frustration is not that they lost. If they had played, if Jaren had played in that fourth quarter the way that we know that he can, that he showed us over the last couple of weeks that he can, he showed us over the last 7 seasons that he can, then they would have lost. If they had lost that game, I would have been like, man, they're fine, right? Like it is what it is. You're down half your roster, but it's the fact that they were winning this game, and it felt like in that fourth quarter that the guy who needed to step up and take over for this team just fell back into the shadows. I did not like that at all.
Yeah, and those back-to-back threes by Luka didn't help either.
Well, Luka Doncic is Luka Doncic. He's freaking awesome, man. Like,
and it's just it's one of those things. Like we'd be upset about the loss for a completely different reason if we saw Jaren do what we know he is capable of doing. The big frustration with him is that he played so well last year, was a couple votes shy from being on an All-NBA team.
Yeah.
So now getting his bag, and it's just things happen, and like he's not the same player that we thought that we paid him to be. So
Nathan asked, "Is Ty Jerome close?" We were in his window, but haven't heard anything past that.
The 6-week mark, I believe,
this week. Right?
Yeah, it was this past Saturday, I believe.
Yeah,
it was this past Saturday. So it was sometime in the next week and a half. I'd imagine we hear something, whether it's good news or not. We'll probably hear something. But I do think we're close to getting an update on Ty Jerome. Zach Edey's 4-week, I believe, is late this week as well. I believe it's on Saturday, this upcoming Saturday. So, and Zach Edey's not necessarily an injury, it's just an offloading. So hopefully we get some good news on both those guys soon, because you know what happens when Zach Edey is put back into this lineup.
The team looks way better.
Night and day. Night and day.
Get the man some milk. Yeah. He needs some milk.
I really don't think we see Scotty this year.
I think I don't think he's going to play this year. Honestly, no. I think this is a lost year for him.
And whether it's because we just don't see him, or whether it's because he gets healthy at the last minute and a team comes in and takes a flyer on him, because if we're fully healthy at point guard, we got to clear up some room somewhere, because that opens up Ja, Ty, Cam, and obviously Scotty. So,
Nathan said Edey's a reeval though as a warning. I think you will see him if he's reevaluated and he looks like he's hit some markers. They will bring him back a lot quicker than what they would.
Because you have to remember when they shut him down, Edey himself, literally 3 days before they shut him down, he said he had been playing at 85% and that he was still playing at 85%. So when they shut him down, he is roughly at 80 to 85%. So I'd imagine when they hit the reevaluation, I would expect like a day-to-day tag, possibly.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
all right. Anything else?
Play the Spurs on Tuesday. Another chance to beat them after being in a close game with fourth quarter of them all the time. But no, y'all forgetting Vince Williams Jr. I mean,
no,
he's not a point.
yeah,
He's not a point. He went down for knee soreness, and he's been out for a week and a half now. So, and he was put into the point guard role because Campbell's the only active point guard. And when Cam was the only active point guard early in the season, he couldn't bring the ball up against teams with good defenses. So that's why Vince got put into that role.
yeah. There's certain guys. I think the three main guys that I'm looking at right now are, well, now you can add Ja to that list. Get Ja back. I think is probably just he sit him out for a game and then he comes back. Yeah. I need Ty Jerome back. I need Zach Edey back, and I need
Cedric Howard to be okay.
Cedric Howard to be okay. Those are the three that I'm super concerned about. I think Vince, it'll be nice to have guys off the injury report, but I think once you start getting the main guys back, like Ty Jerome especially,
because I think will be cut.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to see a lot of Vince Williams even if he's healthy. So,
yeah, I think he goes back into that role where he's going to have to play his way back into the starting lineup, which the Grizzlies are about to run into a problem of who they have to play and who they have to part with, because they have guys who can play at a high NBA level that are going to be sitting on the end of the bench, and there's going to be a few teams that come by like, hey, you're not using them. Can we give you like a draft pick or something?
Yeah.
So,
well, for some reason, my StreamYard is not letting me take comments off the chat. So
I got
you. Well, is yours?
Wait, yeah, I got you. Okay. I think Kenny's internet just crapped the bed. Well, yeah, this is awkward. We play the Spurs on Tuesday. But yeah, so with that being said, nope, Kenny's back. Here we go. We got him back.
It just completely kicked me off. Why do you hate me so much?
Kenny's laptop got some of his party drinks tonight. Oh man, I was getting ready to hit in stream. Like, daggum.
Listen, Wayno, you ain't been listening to us all day anyway because your speakers are broke, man. You got them Aussie speakers. You got the kangaroos are taking over or something. I don't know what's happening.
Can't wait for Wayno to go back in time whenever he comes to the States.
I honestly did a saying, too many buttons. I didn't press a single button.
Yeah, I don't think he hit a single button. I think
Jared pushed the button and kicked me out.
No, he goes, hey, can you take console screen? And so I hit I hit remove current comment off the screen. And then 2 seconds later, Kenny was gone. I had nothing to do with it. Oh, well, Kenny, with that being
Wayno, I'm so tired of Wayno. Hey, when can we announce, Wayno? When can we announce?
Yeah. Also, the bruise on Kenny's calf is from Wayno, pretty much. So.
Yeah. I have a calf bruise in the shape of a Na Morant tattoo that Wayno did.
It's okay. I got a forearm tattoo in the shape of a panda right now. So
there you go. All right. Anyway, well, let's get out of here, bro. Yeah. Fun night. I like hanging out with you. I don't like that they lost, but whatever.
It's 3 minutes after midnight. We are tired, so we got things to do tomorrow. But anyways, Kenny, make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe, join the channel. Sometimes Kenny's experimenting with getting kicked off YouTube on members only streams.
Almost got us banned.
Yeah, but no, got a lot of big things that I know Kenny's cooking up for this year. Only 4 days into the new year. But yeah, so subscribe, go to Twitter, follow on Bluff City Media. We have a Grizzlies page as well. Go follow all that and get notified on everything Memphis sports. Kenny, happy birthday, my friend. Enjoy.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed your day. Enjoy the big 4-5, my friend.
It's going to be a long one, bro. It's only downhill from here.
Hey, you're not at the half century mark yet. You got a few more years. But anyways, thank you all for tuning in tonight. Appreciate the comments as always. Y'all always big integral part of the shows on this network. For myself, Jared Davidson, that is Kenny Stubblefield. As always, go Grizz. God bless. Have a good night.